Praise be Jesus and Mary, now and forever. Today we Franciscans of the Immaculate have the privilege of celebrating as a liturgical feast the Feast of Our Lady of Lourdes. On this day, on February 11th, we remember the first of 18 apparitions that took place in the grotto of Massabielle in Lourdes, France, when the Blessed Mother appeared to 14-year-old Bernadette Soubirous in the year 1858. Bernadette couldn't read or write. She couldn't even speak French. She spoke the local patois, which was the dialect of the time. She lived in poverty and had a terrible asthma problem. And so Our Lady looked on her and said, "That's the one I choose." For those of us who know Our Lady and her heart and how God works, shouldn't surprise us too much. What were the core messages that Our Lady gave to us at Lourdes? One was the importance of praying the Rosary. In each of the apparitions, Bernadette would kneel in the grotto and pray her Rosary in the presence of Our Lady. The Blessed Mother fingered her Rosary in her hands as Bernadette prayed, but she would just silently pass through the beads on her fingers as Bernadette said the Hail Marys, and then Our Lady would join in at the glory beads. So the first message, pray the Rosary every day? Well, yes, every day. Another core message that we need to hear was for prayer in general and also for penance too. Our Lady said, "Penance, penance, penance, pray to God for sinners. Kiss the ground as an act of penance for sinners," she said to Bernadette. And by extension, she tells this to all of us, to all of her children. She instructed Bernadette to kiss the ground as an act of humility, and she had her perform other small penitential gestures like eating bitter herbs that she found near the spring. Penance is to prayer what peanut butter is to a jelly sandwich. The two just fit together perfectly. So love expresses itself not just in prayer, but also in sacrifice and in penance. In our 21st century Western world, we've lost the sense of penance and of sacrifice in many ways. So we need to work on reacquiring those beautiful virtues that Our Lady encouraged us to embrace at Lourdes. Another core message from Lourdes is that of happiness. Our Lady told St. Bernadette, "I do not promise to make you happy in this world, but in the next." So in this world we will have moments of joy and happiness, but we're not made for this world. So we shouldn't insist on finding perfect happiness in this life. In God's eyes, crosses and sufferings are actually blessings because through them we become more like Jesus. And through them God brings grace and goodness and healing and conversion into the world. So if life hasn't brought you a lot of happiness, it might be a good sign. It may indicate that your true happiness will be found in your true home, in heaven. Another core message from Lourdes is that of pilgrimage. Our Lady encouraged people to go on pilgrimage to Lourdes. She told Bernadette, she said, "Go tell the priest that people should come here in procession and to build a chapel here." Why should we go to holy sites when we can just stay in our homes and pray to God, or just go to the local church and pray to God? Good question. The answer is because God attaches special graces to special places. The graces that someone receives at Lourdes or even at places here like the farm, you won't find or receive those in your personal prayer space at home, or again, even necessarily in your local church. Special graces are attached to special places. And notice how whenever Our Lady appears somewhere, she appears in order to make way for her Son. She prepares his way, as St. John the Baptist did, because afterwards the Blessed Sacrament comes to that place. Her apparitions are always tied to her Son. Everything that she is and does is tied to him. Another core message of Lourdes is that of healing. Go and drink at the spring and wash yourself there, Our Lady told Bernadette. But there was no spring. So Bernadette began to scratch the ground and water began to flow from it. God is a God of healing, and the water at Lourdes has brought physical and even spiritual healing to many people over the past 170 years or so. The farm here, it is kind of like a little Lourdes in that respect as well. The water from the well at the retreat center has been blessed by God, and it has brought healing to a number of people who have drank from it or blessed themselves with it or washed themselves with it. Last core message from Lourdes, which we'll mention today, is Our Lady's identity. I am the Immaculate Conception, she told little Bernadette, who had no idea what she was talking about. Our Lady takes her name from her spouse, the Holy Spirit, whom St. Maximilian Kolbe called the uncreated Immaculate Conception, who is born of the eternal love of the Father and the Son. The Holy Spirit is the fruit of their love, the love of the Father and the love of the Son. And so the Spirit looks down upon the human race in order to find someone to share that love with. Someone so wonderful and so perfect that he even wants to share his name with her. Like people do when they get married, right? Often the bride takes the name of the husband. So Our Lady is called the created Immaculate Conception, created to be the daughter of the Father, the mother of the Son, and yes, the spouse of the Holy Spirit, as St. Maximilian would explain, following in the footsteps of St. Francis of Assisi in that. Let's ask Our Lady, our Mother, today for the grace to live the call of Lourdes, the call to prayer, the call to penance, the call to help convert sinners, and the call to be pilgrims and strangers in this world as we journey towards our eternal happiness. Praise be Jesus and Mary, now and forever.